First Baptist Church, Orlando. Yeah, came home to get empowered to do what God's called us to do. See, I think what I've realized is that if you're going to do something special, you're going to do something great, you have to be willing to get the training and support to do that. People are going to constantly tell you what you can't do. And many times when people tell you what they can't do, it's really about what they have not done. Don't allow their failures, their inability to dream of big things and do great things, talk you out of doing what God has called you to do. So I came down to Orlando to the Exponential Conference, and it's been absolutely amazing. Questions I was asking, I found answers to. I found myself in a community of church planners and persons who believe that God is calling God's church to grow. God is calling God's church to do great things in an age where people are speaking discipline and talking about what the church cannot do, that the church is dying. I came and I found out, no, the church is very much alive. The church can and will grow. But you have to hold on to your own dream, your own ambitions, your own desires. Have that ethical ambition that's bridled with humility, but also fueled by the Spirit of God and the ambition God wants you to have. So it's been a time of training, a time of being pushed, a time of having to think, a time of being challenged, but a time of doing the good work. Because if you're going to do great things, you got to do the hard work. It's a reason people don't do great things, because many times people aren't willing to do the hard work. So this conference has been special to me. People like Reverend Grider, who I've met, Albert Tate, one of my students, actually speaking on the main stage. It's been about hero makers, that we have to be willing to walk along beside folk who are gifted, sometimes more gifted than the person who's called to lead. Many times they're discipling us, but our goal is to lift them up, to commission them, to give them permission to lead and to grow and to be what God has called them to be. So this has been a great experience, and I encourage you, get in those spaces and places where people can encourage you, support you, and equip you to do what God's called you to do. It makes all the difference in the world. So Exponential has been great, and I pray you find that conference in that space that can also bless you. This is Dr. Ralph Russell Watkins, the blogging pastor. Follow us at wearewheatstreet.org as we continue to do the work to encourage you to be what God has called you to be and do what God has called you to do. You can do the impossible. God has called you to do great things.